Right now, our weather impact team is keeping an eye on the skies, which means you should too. In the last several hours, some storms have exploded in and around the metro area, so we're tracking chances for more to pop up even over these next few hours. We've already seen thunderstorms pop off just in the last hour, getting some of these pictures like this. This from the DIA area. Now, DIA has been put on a ground stop for the next hour and a ground delay until at least 10 o'clock tonight because of the storms in that part of the metro area.
And it's not just up north, down to the southeast. This is the video from Elizabeth. Mallory tells us this was taken off her back patio looking at the storm where it's looking serious, like mean, Corey.
Yeah, ominous is a word we're going to use today for some of these clouds, Corey. And this is what we talked about this time of year. Here it comes.
Yeah, and that storm there that you just saw, that was the main event, and it's long past the Elizabeth area now, but when it was in Ponderosa Park, Elizabeth area, that was a ferocious looking storm, and it did carry a tornado warning briefly for radar indicated rotation, but we also had a tornado report come in from fire rescue just to the north of Elizabeth here in the Ponderosa Park area. No reports if it was on the ground for long enough to cause any damage. No damage reported just yet, but it was strong. Interesting, no large hail being reported out of any of these storms today. We do have one severe thunderstorm warning. It is for that storm that is just to the east of Elizabeth and Kiowa here, headed towards Lyman. Is still capable of producing 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as that moves out of the Denver area. Also up to the northeast of Denver, we are seeing a little bit of activity. This storm here will be moving towards Lyman and will stay at least severe warned here as we go through the night. One other area that we're watching here is this batch of storms that's developing on the northern foothills here. Could affect northern Larimer County here over the next hour. Potentially severe, if not at least a strong thunderstorm here. And also in the Keensburg area, these storms moving off into other parts of Morgan County are starting to lose their strength. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in place in southeast Colorado, which goes all the way until 11 o'clock. And it's mainly for that batch of storms, which is coming out of Elbert County, and it's going to move all the way to the state line of Kansas. So we'll be watching that storms that we're getting that video of from Elizabeth all the way until it hits the Kansas state line tonight.
All right, Corey, of course, we'll check in throughout the hour. Also a driver was hurt in a rock slide on I-70 this morning. The Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office says in all 5 cars were damaged. This happened between Idaho Springs and Empire before 6:30 a.m. The falling rocks caused one car to crash. Others ended up with flat tires. The highway was closed briefly so crews could clear those rocks. And a jackknife semi caused a closure of I-70 in Glenwood Canyon earlier this afternoon. Colorado State Patrol says that semi was carrying cows. 107 cattle did survive the crash. Sadly, one was killed, though. This happened sometime before 9 o'clock. A dozen or so local ranchers came out and helped crews rescue the cattle on the road. It took CDOT about 5 hours to clean up that scene and get the highway reopened. We're continuing to follow a big story playing out of Larimer County, where a Fort Collins man is being accused of kidnapping and holding a girl captive for about 5 months.
Police arrested Maximilian Budryshku. He faces multiple charges, including kidnapping, child abuse, and harboring a minor. 9 News' Northern Colorado reporter Amanda Gilbert is live near the area where this girl was held captive.
Yeah, Fort Collins police and SWAT made the arrest in this area last week. They say the suspect rented a car back in December, drove to Missouri. He's then accused of kidnapping that girl there and holding her captive in Fort Collins for months. Take a look at your screen. A police report says the victim was held against her will in a home on the 800 block of Warren Landing. The suspect, Maximilian Budryshku, is accused of making the girl work for his snow removal company called Foco Snow Go. The victim told police she was forced to wear a mask to hide her identity and age. Fort Collins police are asking anyone who might have been a customer of that company, please reach out to them. And I do know it was the cyber crimes unit that played a huge role in this. They say a tip from Missouri helped lead to this arrest. Again, this girl was held captive in Fort Collins for several months since December. Live in Fort Collins, Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
All right, Amanda, thanks for the update.
A teen driver died in a crash during a traffic stop in Thornton. 6 other people were also hurt and taken to the hospital. Thornton police say an officer tried to pull over the 17-year-old driver for speeding on 104th Avenue a little after 4:30 yesterday afternoon, but he continued driving. They say he then crashed into 11 other vehicles near the intersection with McKay Road. The driver stayed on the scene and isn't being identified at this time.
Well, today's draft day in the NFL, taking a live look at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where they're hosting this year's draft. Inside the stadium, the picks will be made right on stage in front of a few thousand fans. Now, our Broncos insider Mike Kliss is over at Bronco headquarters as they wait for what is still the 20th pick of the first round. Mike is going to join us a little after 4:30 today for the latest on what the Broncos are doing. As far as Travis, well, Travis Hunter's ready for his big night. He's got his pink suit ready to go up on stage and get that big bear hug from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Right now, all signs point to him drafting second by the Cleveland Browns.